Hello, it's the 10th of July and it is hot. It is, excuse the finger, 28, 29 degrees. Yeah, it's hot. It's only going to get worse this week as well. So I came up to do some weeding and some watering, and I've done the watering and I think it sucked all the energy out of me. So what I'll do is I'll have a little sit down and then I will show you around, because it's been a while, because all my visits are quite fleeting at the moment. It's literally run up here when I have a moment, water, that's it. So let's have a look around. Okay, I'll talk you through this bit first, mainly because I can sit in the shade of the polytunnel and cool down a bit. So as you can see, I've got a black trough on the left, which is some random summer bulbs, the rest of which I still haven't planted. That is a Bramley apple. It's a replacement for a different apple that just looked very dead. No, it wasn't an apple, it was a plum. I got sent a plum tree that was dead and they were out of stock, so I got the Bramley apple. This one also looks dead, but we shall see. In the yellow, that's a Saskatoon berry. It's not looking terribly happy at the moment, but we shall see. It's only been here a week or two. Walking onions in amongst the Massacre of Brassica. Pigeons have had a lot of fun there. Kale looks all right. Obviously they don't like the purple stuff. And behind that, the Oscar peas. These are really at the very end now. I've got my seed saving one, which is the tallest one, and it was the healthiest plant. And the rest, kind of, I've accidentally saved somewhere. I've missed them. If we go this way, those are my Jay's peas. Nice, not terribly prolific at the moment, but then I only had, I think, 6 pea seeds, 6 plants, so I don't know. Just doesn't, it feels like it's been a lot of effort for not very many peas at the moment, but we shall see. And then just on the right of those are the Carina, which also have really come to an end now. There's very few left of those. Oy vey, I suppose I better get up and walk you around the rest. I might be slow. Come on then, let's have a walk around. Oh yeah, this I threw down here a bit of a paddy because 2 of my potato buckets were completely invaded by ants and ant eggs, and I threw it down here and I water it and stamp on it and tell them to go away. But the potatoes in it were not nice. Ants and potatoes are not great together. So, big pumpkin, jack of all trades, I think. Oh, do you know what? If I turn around, you won't get my shoulder. There we go, jack of all trades. It's doing quite nicely. These are pea beans, not all germinated. And this is a lightning sweet squash, which was bought as a small plant from the garden centre. These are Blue Lake beans with a unlabelled, oh there we go, oh, Crown Prince, which is good because that one there is also a Crown Prince. He's not very regal. Then these are awful. These are 3 borlottis. 3 borlottis. And some other kind of squash that does not look terribly happy. Tabletop. I think those are like the little ornamental ones that are meant to look cute. 44 sweet corn plants. Yeah, 44. I like sweet corn. Let's hope we get to have them before the black fly. Beetroot that I had sowed in modules and pots. Turnip, which was sown the same. Shallots sown the same. Asparagus, very weedy asparagus. But do you know what? There's so much asparagus greenery there, I can ignore the weeds for now. Let's go this way. Look, there is mare's tail. But if you remember last year, I spent all my time picking it. I haven't had to do that this year. I mean, there are weeds, don't get me wrong. It's very weedy, but it's not as bad. Well, until we get to the back. I don't know what this flower is. Is it just a daisy? It's not chamomile, is it? Anyone know? Please put a comment below so I don't have to look it up. Blackberries are just coming to come out, which I thought was a bit early for them, but we'll go with that. There's loads of them. Loads of them. Which traditionally means it's going to be a cold winter, but we don't have those anymore, do we? Did have a dream the other night that it snowed in July and was like, climate change. Don't know what's happening to the focus. It's too hot. Obviously, everything's too hot. So apples, again, not sure what type. Oh, what's the name of those ones? Not my favourite type of apple. Can't remember the name, it'll come back to me. And then around the shed, again, focus is awful. And now we're at Marysville. This is the junk I need to get rid of, but hey, that's an autumn and winter job. Boy, am I glad I put this membrane down, because otherwise this mare's tail would be everywhere. I mean, it looks like it is anyway, but... So another apple tree. Again, don't know what type this is. Is that a Cox? Yeah, don't know. This is the cherry tree. We did get some cherries. The birds obviously got most of them, but very nice they were. We've had red currants, black currants. I missed, literally, you've got to pick them when you see them. 2 days later, birds had them all. This is a really unhealthy looking pear tree. These do not look good. Look at those. Oh no, they're meant to look like that. They're not very nice. And there's the blackberries again. Sorry, focus will not work today. Everything's too hot. This is the cold frame I inherited. Yeah, it's full of mare's tail. Next year's problem. Yeah, my strimmer's also broken, which is not fun. Look at this lovely new summer house. It's not really a shed, is it? Isn't that lovely? Going to be boiling in there though. Boiling. Overgrown stuff. Plum tree. Waiting to see if it's going to be a plum or a Victoria. Sorry, that made no sense. Victoria plum or the other one, you know, the yellow or the purple. My grandparents had both in their garden when I was little, and I preferred the yellow ones. So sweet. Where's Plum Bum? So this is what my daughter and I call Plum Bum, and we have to check on it and check Plum Bum's okay. So there you go, there's Plum Bum, looking all right. There we go. Can you see why we call it Plum Bum? There we go. Down here, down here. No focus, no focus. I'm trying to focus it. Okay. Let's go down this side. Actually, let's pop in the polytunnel. Literally, I am sweating after just walking down that end of the plot. It's so hot. So this is a latter tomato from Real Seeds. They're an early. They're looking nice. We are obviously praying that all stays well. Constant job getting rid of these side shoots at the moment. Some golden mange too. 2 plants have died, just gave up. One hanging in there, there's some more on the other side. A good old reliable Costaluto Fiorentino. These were seeds I was given years ago, and I have just kept them ever since. Probably running out now though, after having the bee for the past 2 years, killing all my tomatoes. Loads of tomatoes here, peppers, some sprouts that need to go out, and then in amongst these I have some cucumbers. And this cucumber has grown, well, that end shoot where it comes out there, it's doubled since yesterday morning. Doubled. The growth on these is incredible at the moment. Random plants that I haven't put out yet. More random plants I haven't put out yet. More random plants I haven't put out yet. And some seeds from Seedcraft. I think it was Emma's allotment diaries. I saw her using them and I thought, well, that's great, because they send you seeds that are like to grow at that time of year. So for someone like me who loses track of things, I thought that would be great. So we have pak choi. I don't think I even like pak choi, but hey, grow it anyway. Dill, American landcress and a salad onion. Can't eat that, but someone will. So I will grow those. They're put there in the hope that I actually will get to sowing something today. We'll see. These are the other garden mange trees. So these are basically in potato pots, and when the potatoes have come out, I've put other things in. 2 more cucumbers. Again, you can see it's grown so much I need to tie it up again. And there's a squash there. The pollen is not nice today. Okay, again, black currants. Missed the boat. Birds have had them. I love black currants. I was so fed up with having picked all the red currants though. I just couldn't do it. I was like, they'll have to wait. Ugh, I can't tell you all these. Herbs, fruit, flowers. Yeah, it's there. Okay, so these, there are 4 of these. Not this one, I haven't emptied that yet, but that one, that one, that one, and that one. When I've emptied them and if they've had a slightly green potato, I've replanted them. Save on seed potatoes next year. These ones are still to be harvested. These are probably King Edward and Pink Fir. Flowers, weeds, flowers, weeds and flowers, flowers and weeds, flowers and weeds, water. Oh yes, this has a constant leak. So I put wood down here so frogs and things can hide and stay cool. And I have a pond. I have a green pond, but I have a pond. Obviously it needs many more plants, many, and it kind of needs something other than flies living on it, but got a pond. I was sat watching it earlier. It'd be very nice when I see more than one frog, like literally one frog one evening, that's it. I haven't seen anything since, but you know, it's there for them. I'm sure they do use it just when I'm not here. Blueberries, that bush has been prolific again, so prolific I got fed up of picking them. Stuff in here is like slug and snail food basically. Yeah, slug and snail food. These lettuces have been a success story. I've been doing them as cut and come again. And there's my sunflower wall. Got 2 out at the moment. It's been too hot to have planted these little ones out, but there we go, we live and learn. Yeah, they're just getting too hot. I must put some more water on before I leave, but again, I'm at school all day tomorrow. It's a mad week. Stuff's gonna dry out. There we go, that's the most recent sunflower that's popped its head out. And the other one's the yellow one down there. And they're forming quite a few seed heads. So hopefully it'll be a good year for sunflowers. That is Patterson Gagat. Oh God, you know, not the courgette, not the long ones, but the like summer squash, the round ones. It's one of those. Yeah, it's doing nothing. And yeah, can you believe it? I'm having a year with no courgettes. No courgettes. Didn't sow any. Or the ones that I sowed too late did nothing. Carrots, weeds, onions, coriander with weeds. That's another latter tomato on the end there. Chives, random tomato, calendula, random tomato. This one on the end dries out and gets really sniffy about being dried out. Tomato. Cucumber. Again, need tying up. Cucumber. Golden oregano. Some nigella seeds that I only sowed the other night, haven't germinated, it's too dry for them. And weeds. Seriously, look at these weeds and these lumps. I keep tripping up on them. They're just like rocks. I think what I hadn't realised last year was that the weeds that were left here had been left to seed before the previous tenant was told to chop them down. She was told to chop down the thistles because they had got everywhere. And it wasn't just thistles, it seems, and they have seeded everywhere. There's also a huge amount of grass seed, and I know it's been like from seed, not from roots, because it comes up so easily. So it hasn't come from rhizomes or anything, it's literally grass from seed. So it comes up really easily, but but it's everywhere. Everywhere. And it's a nightmare. So yeah, it's hard going at the moment. School is crazy. It's year 6, last 2 weeks now, which means there's production. We've got 2 late nights this week, so production starting at 7, kids won't be gone till 9, 2 nights in a row. What else have we got on? Got to finish up the reports. Sports day this week, and it's going to be over 30 like every day. This is, you know, when you need to be coming in the morning, if not definitely in the evening to water, and there's 2 nights this week. I'm not going to make it, so we'll have to see if anything's left alive at the moment. And as I said, my visits are really fleeting because school is mad. It's mad. And obviously when I'm not at school, I've got my own 2 kids, so it's too hot to bring them up on a day like this. They just overheat and get cranky. Yeah, but I mean, at least I'm not dealing with the mare's tail like last year, because that was everywhere. This, I've got grass that's gone everywhere. It does come up with an easy pull, yeah, but I know once that's gone, it's not going to regrow. The mare's tail just literally will regrow. You can't, you know, can't pull it up and expect it to have disappeared. It will come back. So that was not so bad. I did get asked by one of the committee members the other day when I was here in the evening, literally one of my running in water, that's it, all I have time for visits. And she's like, oh, some people have entered for the competitions, like the federation, you know, best plot competition. So make sure your edges are done. I don't have time to do my edges. I would if my strimmer had not died. I have to do them by hand. So yesterday morning, my son and I came up, watered. We were 2 hours. We left really early. I think we were here like 7 till 9 something. And I trimmed one side and the front edges by hand. You know, like your hands start cramping because, you know, long handled shears, one, they're not long enough, so you end up doing your back in as well. But I thought, oh God, I better do that, because like she specifically came to mention the edges. I haven't done this side though. I can see them all really long. Just didn't have time. I mean, I'd love to be one of these people up here. You see them up here, they're here every day. They go home for something to eat, they come back, you know, and they're pottering constantly. My allotment would look amazing if I had that time, but you've got to be realistic. Not everyone has that time, and allotmenting is for everyone. So it's not like you shouldn't be allowed to do it if you have a job and children. It's for everyone, and I think sometimes people forget that. You know, of course we've got to keep things looking nice, but there are limits on what you can do with the hours you have. Anyway, I've got to go do some weeding now. I'm hoping it's not going to be as hot. Please get cooler, because it's boiling. If I told you it's hot, it's hot. Should sow some seeds as well. I might come back at the end if I'm not too frazzled, or I may just lie down in the trough and cool down, or the pond. It's a bit green though, but still cool. Anyway, I might see you later. I might just collapse. See you for now. Bye bye. Okay, I know it's technically too warm for weeding, but it's also perfect because as soon as you uproot them, onion hoe, they dry out and die. And of course, any other time of year, they can reroot if it's wet. But because it's dry and bone dry at the moment, they just die. So I'm going to kill some. Right, I'm just gloving up because I've noticed there's signs of an anthill down here. And I don't know if you remember, I'm pretty much allergic to any insect that can bite or arachnid, and I've had a couple of nasty bites in the last month. One from a mystery bug, and I ended up having to go to Finchley Memorial to get heavy duty antibiotics because my foot had swollen up so much. It was disgusting. And then luckily I was on them because they just started to kick in, and it was one of the last days we had a bit of rain and it was fine. So I took my coat off, draped it over something. Ooh, where are you going? Steady now. yeah, so I draped it over something, started to rain, popped it back on, horsefly in my sleeve. That hurt. So I did a bit of swearing and stamped on it because, you know, it hurt. And very, very lucky because oh, there is definitely an ant's nest down there. Because I really, really react badly to those. I think probably most people do. Luckily, I had very minimal reaction because I was already on antibiotics. So, I mean, it was itchy for weeks, but I didn't get the whole swelling, burning fever that I used to get. So, I would normally get without antibiotics. So, yeah, I don't want to get bitten again. This onion hoe, as I'm sure I've said before, is absolutely brilliant. It just slices through and pulls everything up. And there's very few weeds that you need to go in and just yank by hand because pretty much takes up everything. Now my top tip, you're falling down again. My top tip is take a before photo, because once you've finished you will forget how hideous it looked and you'll think, oh, I've done nothing today. Then you look at your photo and you go, oh my gosh, that looks so much better. So top tip, always take a before photo. Now don't fall over again, okay? Otherwise I'll have to turn you off. So yes, the pigeons have massacred the brassicas, but these seem to have worked. So these are my bramble and rosehip defence system. That's a tough one, and that seems to have done pretty good against the slugs. However, touch wood, this plot so far is not as bad for slugs and snails. Now I have seen them, I have got them, they are around, there are some big ones, and snails are laying their eggs in every pot they can get their bums into. But it is not as bad as the other plot, which was damper and overridden with them. And Amy's plot gets a lot. She gets a lot of slug damage in her polytunnel. And where she is quite, it's down like in the forest area, so it's quite damp and dark. I mean, obviously still gets the light, otherwise nothing would grow, but, ooh, ant, go away. Durham early cabbage. Well, one's forming ahead. You never know, I might get a cabbage. Yeah, so I think that's part of why she's had so much slug damage, whereas this plot is hot. There is no shade apart from the fruit trees down the other end, and of course I'm not going to grow anything under fruit trees. So because it's so dry, I think that might be why there aren't so many slugs. Could be wrong. Next year I could be swearing and cursing because, you know, it was a blip and they've all come back, but you never know. We shall see. The other thing I'm having to do this year is be easy on myself, because I have to basically keep telling myself I've only had this plot a short amount of time, and I've kind of relaxed a bit because I was really intent on getting everything growing. I wanted, you know, everything. You want it perfect, don't you? You want also cost of living, you want food. But I had to talk with myself, and I reminded myself I've not had this plot long, and it won't be up and running. It won't be all planted this year. And that did make me relax a bit, because I was like, yeah, of course it's not going to be all planted this year. We've only just got it, you know. Didn't get the back half until April, and that needs a huge amount of work. Oh, anthill. Yeah, needs a lot of tidying and stuff. So once I told myself that, I was much more relaxed. If I'm still in this situation next year though, I will not be happy, because I want it looking better, I want it planted up better, I want more time for it, though I have no idea how that will happen. What was that? Primo cabbage. But yeah, we shall see. Hopefully I'll be a bit more orderly next year. I mean, the polytunnel has been a lifesaver. I wouldn't want to be without one now. So I don't think that will last the winter, that one, because of the storm damage. So I will have to get another one. So that I will have to factor in. But it has saved my tiny flat being like a seed factory, which is nice because it is a tiny flat. And obviously 2 kids, they will knock things over. I will knock things over. So yes, wouldn't be without one of those now. Now, before you ever started growing one, you probably never realised there were so many bugs in the world, or so many different weeds. Like, not even the same weeds, you know, like so many different types of weeds. Oh, ugh, ants. Ah. Anyway, what did I tell you? No falling over. Anyway, I will show you what I've done now. I'm going to sneeze because they're hay fever. Bless me. Didn't take my hay fever this morning and my medicine. So there are ants down there, and there was a really interesting looking spider as well, but also an ant crawling over me, so I might leave this spot for a bit. But yeah, so as I said, always take a before photo, because then you can compare it. And actually, look, I've not done much, but how much better does that look? The rest is still awful.